I thought I'd have a play with this 125 frame I've got. It's in the back of the camper. So Mrs finds out what I'm doing in here, she'll kill me. So, put some new bearings in it, in the headstock, and we'll put the headstock together. So we're starting with something. So I'm going to crack on with that. Well, I'm using the cap off the 125 we had that we broke. So this is in better condition than the other one, but the grease is like cheese in it. So I'll clean all that out, clean it up, repack it, and we'll stick it on the headstock. Cleaned all the old grease out of it now. I'm just going to take all this old paint off with a wire brush. Just a bit of a, oh, I hope I don't make you feel sick. Just doing a bit of that, it'll come off easy enough when I'm not holding the camera. And then we'll get it re-greased and put it back on. Well, that's the headstock back together. That feels nice. So I've just moved the forks over there. I'm going to give them a clean up, and I'll show you that in a second. Right, here's the forks for it. I've started on this one. I'm going to wet flat it and then get it on the polisher, try and bring it back up. As you can see the other ones, what it starts out like, where I've started. It'll bring it up lovely. Well, they're never going to be a show winning forks with the dinks and dents in them, but that one, this one I've done, is definitely a bit better than that one. But as you can see, that's got dinks in it and everything. So I think I'm just going to clean them up. This bike's never going to be the best in the world, it's just going to be a fun bike. As you can see, the top of the forks here pitted, but not where the main bits are. It's just at the top of the yokes, which I'm not really worried about. We'll do something with them somewhere along the line, even if I just paint them black. We'll sort it out. So I'll carry on with this next one, on this weird build I'm going to do. We'll just have to see what happens with it, because we got parts and bits of bike absolutely everywhere. We'll just have to, boxes of stuff. We're just going to have to find out what we can put on it. So all I'm doing here on these forks, got some wet and dry 600 and just giving them a scrub, and I'll do that. It'll take off some of this oxidisation. I'll get some other paper, finer, and we'll just work down in the grades of paper, and then we'll just use some Solvo, I think, to polish them up, and that'll be close enough for this bike. Well, had a bit of a clean up. I've had enough for today. I think I'm gonna concentrate on the next videos of just on doing the 125 frame, start building that, which I think will be an interesting build, because I ain't got a clue what we've got, what we're gonna need. But it'll bring some interest. If you like, subscribe, it's all much appreciated, and we'll carry on in the next vid. I'll just show you a few of the bikes that are in here. If you've not seen this channel, we're well into our XLs. Right, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and hello to the new subscribers. Pleased to have you along. So, I suppose this is it. This is going to be the new project. This is the XLR that was the bike in the bucket that we never got around to doing because we just needed so many parts. So we're going to take the engine out of this, which is a CT engine, which come out of the XL125. So we rebuilt this. We have had it fired up a while ago. So I'm going to start by taking the engine out of this and put into the 1979 frame. We was going to put the forks on, but there's 3mm difference in the forks, and I don't really want to mess around with that because the forks look good on this. So we're going to crack on, get the engine out, try and get it into the frame, try and make a rolling chassis today. Right, 10 minutes later, cup of tuna bacon sandwich. The engine's out of the frame up there. About to go in this frame here. We're going to lift the frame onto the engine. I think that might be the easiest bet at the minute. So we'll crack on with that for a minute. Well, the engine's in the frame now. The biggest problem is finding all bits out of all the boxes that we've got. So we've managed to get that in now. I put some forks on it, but now we've got to find a wheel and fittings for that. I have got a wheel. Oh, there's bits everywhere, trying to find bits for it. I have got a wheel that fits a spindle, caliper, but the caliper's got no brake part in it. I've gone through the boxes and I found this out, but I'm going to have to strip that down to fit into that so we can put a wheel and brake on it. So I'll have a mess with this and see if this one will actually fit in the caliper. Right, got that front wheel, got no tyre on it. Got the XR, got a tyre on it, so I'm going to have to take the tyre and tube out of that to put onto that to get it mobile. So I've got my spoons. Let's have a go at getting this off and putting it back on to that one, so at least we've got a front wheel that's mobile. I can't count the amount of times I've been through these boxes looking for bits. It's unreal. It's not all there, like the guy said. There's bits missing. We've managed to mattle it together so far. I'm just going to run it round the back out of the way now till tomorrow. Managed to puncture the front tyre, putting it on as usual. But yeah, it's coming together. But loads and loads of little bits are missing. So I'm going to call it a wrap today. We've had enough. We're going home. It's Sunday. We're going home for some dinner. Hey YouTubers, it's Monday morning. Back on this bike. First job again. Sort this flat tyre out. Punctured it when I was fitting the tyre. So I'm going to take the wheel out, pair the puncture, hopefully get it back together without puncturing it again. And then we'll start moving on from there. Found the punctures. Obviously pinched the tube in two places. Put one patch on, I'll get another patch on, and blow it up and see if there's anything anywhere else. But I only put the spoons in one place, so I can't see there being any more in it, hopefully. Well, that seems to have done the trick. Now the tricky part, getting it back on without putting more of them on it. Right, I've got the tyre back on. Just left it to see if it's going to go down again. I don't think it will. I'll just use the hide hammer to get the tyre on. This inner fender for this is this one here. Now this come off that 185 and it's in better condition than what the one that come with it, so I think I'm going to give that a scrub down, get the moss off and stuff, and use this one. Well, the tyre seems to have stayed up, so we're okay. We can get that back in. We've greased up everything, ready to put it back in now, because yesterday all we was trying to do was get it mobile so we could move it out of the way. So everything's greased up now and we'll get the wheel back in. Our front wheel's in, that's all nice now, all greased up, slip pin the lot. Back wheel now, back wheel needs to come out. This is sticking, as you can see, so I'm going to take that out. I found amongst the stuff another one, so we'll pull that wheel out and we'll use the best of what we've got. So I'm going to get this back wheel now. Right, looking at these brake hubs, this one is just seized through neglect and standing. So if I've got to build one, I might as well strip this one down, service it, and put that one back in the bag for another day. Because that's nothing wrong with this one, but it wants a good service. So I think I'm just going to service this, strip it, clean it, grease it, and reuse it, and save that one for another day. Right, I've stripped it, cleaned it, I've cleaned all this up. Now working as it should. So it's worth doing. I'll just clean the rest of it up now. It's all full of cack. Back wheel's in. Now we're short from the brake to the back brake. I've gone through the stuff. This is the one that come with the bike, but there's no ends. These little clips here, there's none of them. There's no spring and retaining thing. So I've gone through the hoard and I found another one. So I'll strip the one down that Tommy found, take the part off that, and take the part off the other one. Hopefully that will give us back brake now. That's it, got this lot together now. This is the part I was short of, one of them. As you can see, it's specially shaped to fit here. Cleaned up all these other bits. So we'll get the back brake on now. Hopefully we'll have back brake. Well, back brake's all connected up. It does work, but I'm sure there's supposed to be a spring here, but I haven't got it. I'm going to have to look into that. But yeah, brake does work now, but I'm sure there should be another spring there. I'm going to leave it now for that. It's Tuesday. I've been through every box I've got looking for parts. The only ones I haven't been through, there's one down there and there's another tea chest there. I'm short of the inlet manifold. The one on this bike is not the right one. It won't let the carburettor sit in there. It hits on the frame. I found some parts out. I've got a lever and a throttle. I've got another lever, clutch. That's wire, that's plumbed in. Front brake, but I've got no front brake, although it's plumbed in. I don't know if the cable's stretched or the brake shoes are no good in there. but that's something we can sort out. I've narrowed the box down to, I've took everything out of the boxes I've got that I recognise and put into one box. I was right, there is this spring that goes onto the brake pedal, but this is broke just a little bit on the end here, so I'm going to have to get the welder out and just bring it up by about 1/4 of an inch, just tack some welds on so it'll work, because these are really difficult to find. So that can be done. But down here I've got to move everything out to get to the boxes down here, so I might wait till the weekend. I have actually ordered a new one, the new inlet manifold for it, and I haven't got no exhaust collets, so I need them before I can actually fire it up. So I'm going to crack on, stick some more bits on if I can, see what I've got in this box to go back on it. So, put a wiring loom on that we know worked on the other bike. I've done loads of little things, not worth videoing, it's just finding bits to go on it. But we have got a spark now. So we've got spark. So we're going to go for a start up. I've hooked up the fuel and I'm going to go for a start up. I'll get the plug in it and we'll have a go at seeing if it'll start. Right, drop the plug back in. See if we can get this on here. Right, stone cold. We tried starting it, just drop the fuel on, drop the throttle on. I can't hold the choke on at the same time, so you need to hold the choke at the top. There. No. I'll have to let Tom do a bit of kick starting. Just dribble a little bit of fuel into the pot. Put the plug back in. And see if we can get any action out of it then. This engine stood around for God knows how long since we built it. So when I took the plug out, there was no fuel in there. Plug wasn't wet or anything, so we'll try it this way. Just to get it to draw. Oh, yeah, it fired straight up. Try a bit more fuel down. We've got no exhaust on, so we've got no back pressure at all. But yeah, it fired as soon as it had that bit of fuel. That plug's soaking wet now. Yeah. I'll just try a bit more fuel in there. It could have even flooded. See if anything happens this time. There we go, it runs. Almost ticked over. So yeah, that engine's a runner now. Like I say, that bit of fuel, that's all it needed, was just something to draw it through. Right then, we'll try and put a bit of an exhaust on it so it quiets it down for the neighbours. Right, that sounds a bit better. We put the exhaust on that was on the 125 that we swapped the engine out of. Lucky enough we didn't throw it away. But that's quieting it down loads. That engine sounds really sweet. So, might try the gears. Oh, it was working when it was in the other 125, but it was knackered. But so, everything should work on it. It's had new rings, everything on it. Yeah, it sounds really sweet. When it's on, might even get a ride on it. Yeah, we're happy with that. Right, that's it, sitting there ticking over. Slipped the K&N on it down there, just lying around, which sounds really nice. No rattles. I bet you want to go up and down the road on it, don't you? Just give it a gentle little ride up the road. There's no brakes as such yet. But yeah, I'm going to take it down and lift it off. It actually moves. We've got a few rattles on it, I think off the chain and stuff. And if it's a chain guard that's rattling. But, whereas it's Thursday today, didn't do a lot yesterday. So it's only took a few days. But now we can work on it. Now we know it's viable to keep messing with it. I've got to find out where them rattles are coming from. I don't know if it's off the chain. Right, I think he's run out of petrol, thank God. I was a bit concerned about the rattle, but where's the rattle coming from, Tom? Ah, so it's not the chain or anything?
No.
Right then, it's a bit spluttery, but we don't know if that's because of the K&N or whatever's on it. Plus he was running out of fuel. Right, we'll stick some more fuel in it and just let it tick over for a bit longer. A bit off. Oh. Getting a bit more freight now. We had the chain come off. I think we got the spacers wrong. It's a really weird setup on this one. I'll show you in a second. But it seems to be going. There we go. I'll try and show you what I mean where the chain come off. If you look down here, the spacer there to the spacer on this one, it's about an inch bigger on this. For some reason, don't know why, it must be the year or whatever, but I think that's why the chain come off. We've had it whizzing up and down, seems alright now, so we're going to stick it around the back for now. We know it runs, we got something to go with. Well, it's Friday morning, it's absolutely hissing it down, so I think I'm going to take some time and clean up the side, try and put some bits away, generally tidy up, because I can't do a lot to the 125 today. So wish me luck on getting this tidied up. That's a bit tidier now. I've gone through the box, and this is the last things I'm left with. I've got, I think that explains itself. You can see that. So there's knackered coil on it. XL125, something that's in there. I think that explains what that is as well. So I'll open that up and have a look what that is. And I'm left with 3 little parcels. That says on it XL125, and that's obvious what that is. That's a coil, so that's useful. And I'll open these up. These look like wiring looms, so I'll open them up and show you when I've opened them. The one package has turned into 3 packages when I opened it. It's just like Christmas. Well, that's a flasher unit by the looks of it, or something else. Anyway, I'll carry on opening them up. Well, the first one turned out to be good bits. These really hard to find. These are what fit under your on your back of your mud guard for your indicators to mount to. So you don't find them very often. A couple of boots for wiring and some rubbers. One's knackered completely, which I think are for holding the side panels on. So that one too bad. I'll open the next one. Well, the next one is a stop and tail bulb and some wiring. So that's useful. And for inside a set of clocks. Another good useful bits that are hard to come by. Right, which one should we open next? Should we go for this one? Right, I'll get the Stanley knife and open that one up then. Next one, we had a flasher unit, 2 rear brake light switches. I think these are voltage regulators. There's 2 of them as well. So, just leaves us one big one now. Let's open the big one. The last one turns into a right bag of spaghetti. So, bit of green wire, always useful. That, I have no idea. So, bit of shrouding. This one, no idea at the minute. What else we got? Got this one with all the ends chopped off. I'll have to work out what that is. Not too sure. I recognise some of the colours. So I'll stick that on there. We've got a white one. I think it's white, yeah. Bit of wire. That looks like it'd be for either a horn or for a flasher unit. Another one of those, whatever that's for. Useful bit of green wire with an end on it, with a stripe, a yellow stripe, so I should be able to work out what that was for. Front brake switch. Internals out of a switch. Looks like a horn switch and indicator. Parts of that. Another piece of green wire, another green wire. And then we got this. I've got some more bits of odds of wires. And then we have what I presume is part of a loom. I'll have to unravel that and have a look what that is. And this one I haven't opened yet, which is, says knackered. I'll open that up and have a look what's in that. Well, the one with knackered on it, I can see why I've done that. It's because, focus, that's all burnt out there. But colours, the wires are still useful if you've got to patch up somewhere. And last of all, we've got a coil that says knackered on it as well. Got some bits and bobs there. Yeah, wire's always good. We can always reuse bits. Right then, let's get on to something else. Well, that's what I'm left with. Out of all them packages, useful bits and the unuseful bits as such, which was supposed to be the wiring for the bike, is just hacked up wiring looms. So we're going to have to sort something out about sorting this wiring loom out for this bike so I can get some lights on it and stuff. All I really want is a headlight, tail light and a horn. That's all I need on it. But that was really disappointing on the what was supposed to be the wiring loom. But I think we took one off the 185 that Tom had that he found. So we'll have a look through that, see if we can use any of that as well to make a loom up. Because I can't see me making much up with this, what I've got here. I've just dragged out the one that Tommy found. Still got moss growing all on it. I don't think that's going to help much either. So I'm going to have a look at the one that I just threw on the bike. See what condition that's on to get it started. But that's going to have to be another day. It's still peeing down the rain. So at least I've tidied up a bit. I'll bag all this lot up and hang it up and wait till the rain stops. Well, you can tell I'm getting bored. The wheel that come with the bike is flat, and people know how much I hate doing tyres, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the tyre off and have a look at the tube. At least I'll have a wheel if I can sort it as a spare that's ready to go. So I've got my spoons out. Let's see how many punches we can get. Well, got the tube out. It's going down quicker than I can get air in it. I've found, I think there's 3 punches along here. You can see where this ring is. Another ring here. And there's another one here somewhere. So I'll start by patching them up and try again, put some air in it. Well, that might explain something. There's no rubber in here. So these are just going to pinch the tube all the while. So I'll have to have a look around and see if I've got the rubber that goes in there. Plus it'll give me a chance to clean all this up in here. So that explains why it's got so many punches. Well, sometimes you've just got to admit defeat. This tube just ain't worth trying to repair. For the price, just to go and get a new one. So I'll just go and get a new one. Cleaned up the rim somewhat. I might spray some primer in there and a bit of silver just to cut the rust back a bit, stop the flakiness. Well, bit of cleaning, bit of buffing, and I think you'll say that's certainly improved it to what it was. That's turned out really nice. I'll just leave that to dry off properly now. But it's got to help. It's got to help stop the rust anyway. So yeah, that come out really well. It's eventually stopped raining. I've come out to it, and this loom, we've got the back end of it, where the battery goes and whatever. And it's the front end that's cut off, so I'm going to have a look in the garage and see if we've got the front end. If we've got the front end, we're laughing. We should be alright. So I'm going to wrap this video up now. Thanks for watching, subscribing, and join me on the next bit with it.